What's up, everybody? So I wanted to make another video about what I do in the Army. Um, I am an active duty enlisted soldier in the United States Army, and my MOS, my military, I think it's occupation specialty, is technically a 92 Foxtrot, which is a petroleum supply specialist. You might hear it called 92F, 92 Fox, or it might just be called a fueler, but that's what I do in the United States Army. That's what I signed up for, and on a day-to-day, it's really not that bad. When it's slow, but when it's busy, it's busy. But my typical day is get up, do PT, get to work around 9, and right now I'm in Fort Irwin, California. They call it AKA the NTC, the National Training Center. That's a whole nother video, but if you know about Fort Irwin, then you know about Fort Irwin. You know what it is. Whether you've been here on rotation or whether you've been stationed here, it's Fort Irwin, and that's where I'm at. I'm a fueler at Fort Irwin. Right now, I'm on rotation, one of many. But as far as my job description as a 92 Fox, a fueler, my day-to-day consists of I'll do it this way. So on Monday we do PMCS, which is like a preventative maintenance, and we go through and we check and inspect all of our vehicles from front to rear. To keep simple terms like that, we check the vehicles from top to bottom and from front to rear, all the way around. We make sure that there's no damage, no leaks, anything that could possibly deadline the vehicle, which is prevent it from being used or prevent it from being able to be taken out to the field. So we check for that on Mondays. If you do it right, it shouldn't take you that long, but you don't want to rush through it, because if you skip a step, it could potentially hurt another soldier, just because of oversight and lack of attention to detail when you're doing these checks. So the PMCSs, although they're kind of redundant, they're probably the most, if not the most important step of what it is to be a fueler. Tuesdays, we take orders from sergeant. Whatever sergeant needs us to do or complete for the day, whether it's organizing the storages, aka the connexes, you're going to hear that a lot. Filling up any vehicles that need to be, refueled. Anybody could come through. Everybody's important. Everybody needs fuel. If you think about doing this, remember there's no fuel, no fight. You'll learn that when you get to AIT. But honestly, you're fueling up vehicles. You're going to be dealing with a lot of different vehicles that you're fueling up, because everything pretty much, until some crazy law passes, everything is taking fuel. And the type of fuel that we use here is called JP8. You can kind of use diesel number 3, but we use JP8 or F24, which is a more finer fuel. But we use that mostly. But you're going to be dealing with 5Ks, HIMITs, TPUs. And there's some other stuff that you're going to be using too, but as far as being a fueler, it's really not that bad. You are going to smell like gas. You're going to smell like diesel. You are going to get used to that. That's just comes with the job, but you get out of your clothes, a little bit of Coca-Cola in the wash, and it'll be right out. That's a little tip. The job itself, it is labor intensive, but it's nothing you can't do. It's nothing that you're not already prepared for. But just be prepared to work. Like, it's not hard. It's not like, oh my God. But it's, you can't be lazy, you really can't, but it's not a hard job. But being a fueler is not that bad. Once you learn it, pay attention in class, pay attention to AIT. The hardest part about AIT, honestly, is staying awake, but pay attention, like really just try, care, try to score well. Don't just try to pass the test. Don't fall into that, don't get lazy at AIT. Like, you got good energy coming out of basic. I know that usually lasts for 2 weeks and it fizzles out. But don't get lazy. Like, don't worry about the vending machines. Don't worry about the gut trucks. Like, don't worry about that. Just continue working on being a better soldier and learning your job. And once you get out here, it'll be so much easier once you get out here if you just paid attention in AIT. They're not just going to throw you to the wolves, so don't worry about that. You're not going to come straight out of AIT and expected to know everything. You're going to have a whole troop here that's willing to help you. But don't come in as a know-it-all, because you don't know it all, because you haven't stepped foot into the real Army yet. So that's another thing. It's like, don't come out of AIT thinking you know everything about the Army. Don't get stuck on what you saw on YouTube, or even though I'm showing you, giving you the videos, don't get so caught up on my videos to tell you exactly what it is to be a fueler, because I'm speaking from my duty station that I've been at, NTC, and my experience thus far. But pay attention in class. I'm pretty sure you have great instructors, because they wouldn't put anybody in there that wasn't at the top of their game in their field. So listen to your instructors. Study, read when you're pulling those night guard shifts, those fire guard shifts. Trust me, I know. Fucking fire guard, man, goddamn. But when you're pulling those shifts, take your book out there, take your workbook out there, and just keep reading. Like, don't take it as a burden. I know it sucks, but trust me, you work hard then, and it won't be as hard when you get out of here. But being a fueler, it's not that bad. Just pay attention. Pay attention to AIT. Like I said, when you get out here, and it's time to fuel the vehicles, you'll already know what you do, and it'll make your job so much easier, and that way you can spend time learning other things. But as far as being a fueler, it's not that bad. It's really not. I enjoy it, and I wish there was more videos that talked about what it is to be a 92 Fox. When I was coming in, basically 4 months ago, I wish there was more videos that talked about being a fueler. But another part, before I digress anymore, your aqua glow. Pay attention when they do the aqua glows, because you might get caught at an aviation unit, or you might get stationed at an aviation unit, which is airplanes, choppers, helicopters, i.e. Chinooks, Blackhawks, all that. Learn how to do your aqua glow, because you're going to be performing your aqua glow a lot, at least every single morning, in the middle of the day, at least. And that's just going to check the quality of your fuel, because you want to make sure you're serving the best quality fuel, especially to those airplanes and those not airplanes, but helicopters, because that's super important. That is the most important thing. So make sure you understand your aqua glow. When you're in AIT, if you have questions about doing aqua glow, just keep doing it until you got it. But that's going to be super important. So pay attention in that part. Another thing to pay attention for when you're in class is filling out your forms, filling out your DA 3643. It's super simple. Don't overcomplicate it. It's super simple. Your 5988s, they'll teach you that. They'll teach you the SOP, the standard operating procedure, when you get to your unit. But make sure you listen, pay attention, and make your job so much easier. Just listen and pay attention. I promise you, your military career will be okay, no matter what job you choose. Just show up in the right uniform, the right place, in the right time, and that'll take care of most of your Army career if you can just do those three things. Right place, right uniform, and the right time. Like I said in my last video, be 15 minutes early everywhere. Everywhere, no matter what. 15 minutes early. 15 minutes early. Remember that. Don't get there on time. Don't get there 5 minutes early. Don't get there 10 minutes early. Get there 15 minutes early. Trust me. Do what you got to do and get out the house, get out the bed, get out the bed. Just do what you got to do. Get there 15 minutes early, by any means necessary. I know I keep jumping, but there's a lot of things that are important, and it really all depends on you. You determine how hard your job is. People will come in saying it sucks and all that, but it really doesn't. It really does not suck. If you're a disciplined person and you're a hard worker and you can take direction and you know how to execute without being micromanaged all the time, then the Army's not going to be that bad for you. But if you're somebody that needs to be micromanaged and always told what to do, or somebody that's always being told that they're doing something wrong, or those people that are just like, they just don't get it, or they choose not to get it, or they want to do things their way, those are the people that usually have a hard time day to day in the Army. But if you can work independently, if you could take orders, if you can finish a task efficiently and you don't need to be watched over, you'll go a long way. Because when your higher ups can trust that they don't need to be around you all the time to make sure that something gets finished, they'll trust you with so many more things, and that just makes you look good and that makes you stand out. So when it's time for you to get promoted and move to the next level, there won't be a lot of questions that have to be asked. It's all based on you. I will make a video about what I've heard about as far as what you could do to stand out as a soldier, but that's another video. Hopefully you guys want to see it. But as far as this video, this will be my last time digressing. Being a fueler is not that bad. You come to work, do your job, fuel vehicles, make sure your vehicles are running right. If they're not running right, you document the issue when you do your PMCS. If you have to do layouts, which is when you take all of the BII out of the trucks, basically all the important parts, all the important gear, or the basic issue items. You take them all out and you lay them out, and you make sure you have everything that's required for the vehicle to have. You're going to lay all that out, and you're going to come and get inspected by your commander. They'll check it off. You put it all back in the truck. If you don't have it, they'll mark it and make sure it's in the truck so that it's ready for when it's time to go out on mission. So you do a couple of those. You go out to the field. The field is pretty cool. You're out there with your 5Ks or your HEMETs, and you're just waiting on vehicles to come by. You're usually in the back, so you're not worried about like being in the meat of the fight, but you're usually in the back. They come through, get their vehicles fueled up. You document how much fuel they took on your 3643s, and you let them go about their business. Keep your area clean, keep your truck clean. If there's any leaks, manage the leaks. Be courteous to all the soldiers that come through to get fuel. Remember, they're on mission just like you are, so be courteous, respect them. It doesn't matter what rank they are, whether they're fuzzy with no rank, or they're a sergeant major or lieutenant colonel, you know, the brigadier general can come by. We treat them all with the same level of respect, you know. If it's an officer, you salute them. You know, if it's a high enlisted, you know, you show them the proper respect. You call them by their rank, just as you would like somebody to do to you when you earn your way up the ladder. But yeah, just deliver clean fuel. Learn all your valves. Learn how to operate all your vehicles. Make sure you do your morning gauges, which is when you go up top and you gauge how much fuel is in your 5K or any truck. You gauge everything so that you know how much fuel you're working with in the morning. You do it during if you want, and then you do your end of day gauging just to know how much fuel you've issued out, aka how much fuel you gave out that day, and clean up and you go home. It's really not that complicated. Just be willing to work, be willing to listen, be willing to pay attention. If there's anything that I haven't covered, or you want more information about anything that has to do with being a 92 Fox, please just let me know and I'll give you whatever information I can. I want you to do good in AIT. I want you to succeed. I remember being in AIT and wishing that there was anything I could do to get a leg up on passing my test, or learning more about being a fueler, because I wanted to be the best fueler I could be. You know, even though if it's not your desired MOS, you still want to be the best at it, or you want to be as good as you can about it. I wish there was more information for me to find out, more current information about being a 92 Fox, like what it's really like, and not just the Go Army videos. But yeah, definitely. But somebody that was actually doing it, somebody that could relate to me, that, you know, just fresh out of AIT and just got to their first duty station, and what it's really like out there. And that's what I want to be able to do for y'all. So if there's anything I can do, or any videos I can kind of post to help y'all out, just let me know. Leave a comment, and I'll make a video about it, and hopefully it'll help you succeed in your Army career, or, you know, whatever path you have planned for you, whether it's you're in the reserve or National Guard, whatever I can do to help.